There we go. Says everything's good. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up this time. And there we go. So, welcome everyone to part 2 of Escape from Innsmouth. The part where they will most likely be escaping from Innsmouth, like it says on the tin. um, I'm Cameron, Comrade Sim, Run RPGs. Yes, I'm going to be GMing. And our 3 stalwart investigators are. Let's start with John.
Hello, everyone. I'm John. I play Arkham Horror, the card game, and I hang out on Discords too much, and I like games. That was a great introduction. I've nailed it.
That was perfect. Perfect. Who are you playing?
I'm playing Dexter Drake, and I think I remember the accent I used last time. So
fingers crossed.
We'll see how that goes.
And we have Peridor.
Hi, I'm Peredur. I'm playing Patrice Hathaway, the violinist, and looking forward to playing again today.
Ooh. And last but not least,
it's me, Peter. Hello, everyone. I nearly said Frank there. I was on autopilot. I'm Peter, also known as United. I am playing Preston, and I will be trying to solve as many of my problems as I can with either money or accountancy. So I'm looking forward to getting back in and escaping from Innsmouth.
I really hope that the key to escaping from Innsmouth is an accountancy situation.
Some accountant there with his car. Well, I'll let you drive, but I've just got this one problem I can't solve in this double entry I'm doing.
If you can balance these books, you're free. The ultimate challenge. Does anybody want to do a recap of what happened last time, if you can remember?
Oh no, I left my notes in the other room.
I very sensibly opened a vault, and it was fine, and nothing bad happened.
Oh.
The end.
So
Pretty sure.
Let's go back. We were asked by Prof. Armitage of Army to look into the disappearance of a child of some friends of his.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Billy, is it Billy Burnham?
Brian Burnham.
Brian Burnham.
Knew it was alliterative. So we went to see his parents.
William and Marjorie.
Nice. We went to see his pastor.
Is
he called Ezekiel?
Yes, Dr. Ezekiel Wallace.
Knew it was something biblical. We went to see the newspaper that reported the disappearance of Billy. We got some good gossip from the newspaper archives, and then we headed to. Did we see anyone else? Oh, we went to the police station, didn't we? And we saw the regional manager.
Arthur Anderson,
interviewed the regional manager in this game of escapism and fantasy. And then we made our way in my car, chauffeured by Henderson. I think I called the driver. We headed over to Innsmouth, right?
Yes. Yep. You stopped by the Greg's house.
Yes, we did.
Got pasty. You found out that Brian Burnham had a girlfriend in town.
Ruth Billingham.
Yes, who is a local. They were seeing each other. You also found out that he was involved with the O'Banion gang, that he was feeding them information in exchange for money, as they were sort of trying to expand into Innsmouth, and they were dealing with some rival rum smugglers in the town. You arrived, you examined the First National grocery store, found out that it had not been burglarized. Well, they had tried to make it look like a burglary, and in fact, something had broken into the shop and then broken out the back door as if it had been chasing someone. This drew the attention of the sheriff, Chief Constable Andrew Martin, who doesn't at all look like a frogman, is a totally normal guy with jowly cheeks, bulging eyes, and a flat nose.
There's no such thing as frogmen. Why would you even bring that up, Cameron?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. And then Patrice distracted everyone in the square with some beautiful violinswomanship.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Everyone was distracted. Dexter and Preston snuck into the variety store, which was supposed to be robbed. Found a safe that someone had. The manager of the store, Mr. Waite, left, locked the back door, broke open the back door, went inside, found a safe that had obviously someone had tried to break in. They finished the job. Inside, they found on the back of the door of the safe a elder sign, and they also found a mysterious text, which is Ye Book of Dagon. Ye Book of Dagon. No, it's just it translates to the Book of Dagon. Translated from a purer source, which I really like.
I think that's one of the. Is that in the Apocrypha or is it Old Testament? It doesn't.
It's in the sequel.
The sequel. Bible 2 with the Book of Dagon.
Yeah, Bible 2. This time it's personal.
Oh man, I need to write that.
There was also is like a hollow mass. Don't know if I've written it down correctly. That's happening tonight, coincidentally, which is why we kind of got Henderson to drive double speed to get here, because they're going to do some totally normal and above board walking around with masks and stuff tonight.
Yes, there's supposed to be a cool festival tonight, which I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy. But yes, so as the seal on the safe was broken, all of a sudden Patrice got a sense that something was watching her, and that also that something had been opened, and a bunch of people in the square seemed to have shaked off their trance of listening to the violin music. The chief constable and two other men headed into the variety store through the front, and two people on the street are now sort of like looking around. Everyone's sort of transfixed, but these two people are sort of looking at Patrice playing the violin and sort of moving towards her.
What do these people look like, sorry?
So one of them is a sort of like looks like a woman. She's very hunched. She's got a bag, a large, heavy, like damaged bag, and she's bending to sort of look up at you. You can't quite see her face, but she's sort of like approaching you in a somewhat menacing fashion. And the other gentleman approaching you is looks to be like a fisher. He's got like a I guess like a raincoat, the like a yellow slicker.
Oh, sou'wester, is that what you're looking for?
Sorry, what was it?
Sou'wester, it's often called.
Yeah. So he's wearing one of those. He's got the wide-brimmed yellow hat. Sort of hard to see his face, but he sort of like moves his head to the side almost unnaturally, and he's sort of advancing towards you. Meanwhile, in the back of the shop with Dexter and Preston, the chief constable has smashed open the window, unlocked the door from the inside, and said, well, thanks for opening that for us, gentlemen. what do you guys do?
You're welcome.
Can I ask a couple of clarification
Oh,
questions?
yeah, of course.
Where is the car in relation to where I am?
Okay, so if we look at the map here, there's the car. So the car was parked near the grocery store. And Patrice, you're sort of in this square here. Preston and Drake are in the variety store. So the car with Henderson sort of like waiting outside of it is behind you, and in front of you down the way you can see the variety store where the chief has sort of broken in and is entering.
Okay.
So just to clarify this, they've come in. Did they say they came in through the front just then?
Yes, they came in through the front. You guys are in the back with the safe. You have the book and the rest of the papers, and the back door is unlocked, of course.
Yeah, because that's where we came in. So
yeah,
Dexter did a very good job. I presume Dexter didn't lock it behind us.
Probably not.
Well, sorry. Can I just ask, what check would I make to discern more about these two individuals? You know, to try and like an insight check in D&D, but not that.
Oh, what do you want to find out about them?
Kind of, I suppose, want to see if I can tell more about what is unusual about them beyond what you described, or whether or not that's the extent of what I can know about them.
I'm not going to make you roll a check for that. Basically, looking at them, they seem to have noticed whatever this unlocking is, and you get a sense that they're not so much looking at you as they're almost looking at something behind you. And behind you, you get the sense of something watching you. Like if you turn around, you don't see anything there, but you get that sense at the back of your neck. Patrice has probably had this before sometimes when she's doing a performance, almost as if there was a watcher from another world.
Yeah.
But the
okay.
two people who have sort of broken from this trance, that you get the sense they've become aware of something that's concerning them, and they're looking like just beyond you to where something might be.
I think my instinct is to run very fast for the car to enlist Henderson and his motor's help.
Sweet. So they, as you break off to a run, they start increasing their pace, but they're old and they also have like a weird gait to them. One of them looks like one of their legs doesn't work quite as well. They're sort of like hobbling along on it towards you, almost like they're hopping, almost like a little hopping motion. And you are easily able to get to the car with Henderson, who's sort of, he notices you, quickly puts out the cigarette he was smoking, and goes, Miss Hathaway, can I help you? And then notices the two people, ambling after you. I assume you've stopped playing violin at this point?
Yeah. I as I was running, I was hurriedly putting the violin back in its case.
Yeah.
I rush up to Henderson and say, no time to explain. Get in the car. Drive that way. And I point in the direction of the variety store. And I leap into the passenger side of the car.
Sweet. So you jump inside. Henderson's like, so the people who were on the street who were entranced, they're sort of like milling around. The two people who are intent on you are moving towards you. Henderson's like, okay, I'll try and evade these people.
I basically want him to kind of just not knock people over unless they choose to be in the way, but to kind of drive tires screeching so that we can bring some more muscle or some getaway opportunities for the two people who I suspect are in trouble in that shop.
Sweet. Preston and Dexter. You're in the back of the shop. Chief Constable and two Goonie type fellows are at the front.
So we've been thanked for opening the cupboard, storeroom, walk-in freezer equivalent. This small, unimportant room. I'm trying to think what Dexter's reaction would be.
It's going to be a smoke bomb, right? Just the cloak.
100%. Yes.
My work here is done.
Where's the inventory? Hold on. Character sheet. Smoke bomb, smoke bomb, smoke bomb.
So you have an ability called Conjurer of Cheap Tricks.
I do, yes.
Which I really enjoy naming, as you can probably tell. So you can use that.
So what? Can I? Excellent. I will try and conjure a cheap trick.
Awesome.
And I do wonder whether I should have been playing this way more along the lines of Arrested Development, but I haven't been, so let's not start now. Yes, so Dexter will try and work a small amount of magic to make an escape that he and Preston can take advantage of.
Awesome.
And I'm going to roll and hope. Hey!
Nice!
That's right. Yes! I get 19.
So...
Okay, so yeah, I swish my cloak and mutter a few words which Preston can't quite hear. The syllables, like he hears each individual syllable, but they don't really seem to like go together in any way he can pass. And then something happens. What happens? What's allowed to happen?
What do you want to happen? You succeeded.
I want to get away from the mean people.
Okay.
Just like a flash or a loud noise or something behind them, just to distract them while we run out the back.
Yes, there's a kind of a billow of fabric and a very kind of bright light, and then suddenly we are kind of the next thing they see is us making our way out of the door of the shop at some speed. Preston gets the impression that this might not be the first time that Dexter has found himself being stared at by someone having gotten somewhere he's not supposed to be and needing to escape in a hurry.
So are you creating illusion of you leaving out the front of the shop?
Yeah, so like that.
Okay.
I mean, that wasn't quite what I was thinking, but that's really cool. Like getting them to chase an illusion of us, and then we just saunter out the other way after they've gone, potentially after having maybe poked about a little bit more to see what entirely reasonable thing I did when I unlocked this door.
So there's a bright flash in front of their eyes, and you can almost see their eyes sort of like dilating and having trouble adjusting to the bright light. You sort of see a vague shape, but to them they think they see you move like almost through them in a way and start running out the front, and they for a second they are confused, and also it's hard for them to see, so they turn around and start going out after these shapes. Patrice, excellent. As you're driving in the car, Henderson is beeping at people. The two people are like almost like one of them is like sort of like trying to get in the way of the front of the car, and the other one has jumped up onto the front of the vehicle and is on the window, and it's hard for Henderson to sort of see. He's beeping the horn and trying to get people away, but you can just make out through the body of the person on the windshield what you know is an illusion of your compatriots leaving out the front.
Can I ask Henderson a little bit frantically? Does does Mr. Fairmont keep a pistol here, a gun, in
Uh,
the car?
yes, in the glove box.
I hurriedly open the glove box to find.
You find a an old sort of like service revolver. You believe it probably belongs to Henderson.
Okay, I whip it out and I want to wind down the window and lean out and point the gun at the individual on the bonnet and shout something to the effect of "Get off the car! This has just been waxed."
Awesome. So normally,
Actually, I'm not shooting. I'm just trying to use it to threaten because I think Patrice could not hit anything.
so normally, if this was say a normal person, you would probably threaten them quite a bit. This person is acting strangely and is very zealous and strange. So give me. Is there an? Let me just double check. Oh, that's coming up there. Okay. Do. Yeah, you don't have time to persuade. Give me sort of a. I guess fast talk is the closest to like intimidating someone quickly. So yeah, give me a fast talk with a +10 because you have a gun. Guns are scary, even if you're a crazy, zealous person who's jumping on cars.
Okay, so just excuse me, just to remind myself, the code for typing this in is /roll space 1d100 arrow pointing and then whatever my fast talk +10 is, yeah?
Yeah, so also at the bottom, I'm not sure if you have the macros. Under collection, there's a, you can turn on the roll d100 target macro.
Oh yeah. Well, I typed it in, but it came out as a 29, which says not successes, but that's wrong because my fast talk is 30, so that should
Yeah,
be a success.
yeah. I think it's the different symbol.
I used the opposite, the wrong one.
Anyway,
I'll just try.
29 you got a
is past it.
success. You got a success.
I'll remember next time.
And so, for a moment there, you see their eyes almost become like more human, and for a second there, they realize that they're acting out of sorts and out of normal, and that person has a gun. Guns are scary. I don't want to die. So they have a moment of self-preservation, and they dive off the roof of the car, giving Henderson a better view as he moves around. The people in the street are still sort of out of sorts a little bit. The one other guy who was going after you has turned around and headed in your direction, and he lets out. It's a very strange sound. It's like like a cross between like a yell and almost like a croak of some sort.
It sounded a little bit like Scooby Doo.
Damn it! That's not what I was
Bravo.
going for. Trying to make I need a soundboard of weird frog sounds, so I don't have to make them myself. Anyway, he makes this weird sound. Maybe I shouldn't have even tried to replicate it. But the chief constable and the two other people sort of respond to it and sort of shake out of their weirdness and turn around. Preston and Dexter, you hear the sound of a car engine and behind the shop, sort of the squealing of tires and a car pulling up. There. Did you want to quickly look over the shop before you leave, or do you want to just jump into your escape vehicle?
Would like how much of a negative modifier do I need to like very quickly look around before running away? Like because I assume I'm going to incur some sort of negative due to the speed with which I'd like to do it.
Well, you've already sort of looked around this area before. So I'm not going to give you a penalty. I'm just not going to give you a bonus. So if you want to roll a spot headed.
You're a kind and wise GM.
Aw, shucks.
Okay, I get a 95, which is a fail pretty much however you slice it.
Yeah. So you want to look around, but in your eyes, you're still seeing that flash that you made. The
self-sabotage.
The spell you created, and you can almost see in your eyes, in your vision, the illusionary versions of yourself and Preston sort of like dancing around in your sight. It's hard to concentrate. It's side effects of spells, nothing to worry about. You don't quite have time to look around. Well, you look around, but you can't quite notice anything before you head into the vehicle. Does Preston want to do anything?
No, I think we looked in this because we got it was a safe we'd opened, or we got the book from, right?
Yep.
And we had a look inside there, and there was just some other kind of business papers type thing.
Yep.
So it didn't sound like if there was going to be anything relevant, it'd be in there. So no, I'm there's nothing else. I'm keen to take a look. I want to kind of make a break for freedom, to be honest.
Sweet.
I'm wishing I'd brought my rifle with me from the boot of the car.
So yeah, you swing into the back, jump into the back seat of the car. Mr. Fairmont, this is these locals. They're quite out of sorts.
Yeah, absolutely, Anderson. Let's make a swift getaway into one of the neighboring streets, just where we can gather our thoughts.
Okay. One of the neighboring streets?
Well, we want to get to the bottom of what's happening, so I'm not suggesting we leave town altogether.
So you were right about there.
Yeah. We could drive in the direction of the Billingham house. That seems like it's a few blocks away, so maybe that would be a good destination.
Yeah. The fire. The report of them being seen was from the firehouse, right?
Yeah.
Feel like the firehouse might be staffed by people who aren't very friendly, so I don't want to pull up in a car. We can maybe sneak up to it a bit later. Yeah, so I'm happy if we say we come along Bates Street, and then is that Adams, right?
Adams, yeah, right here.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll head. This idea of a town on a grid is quite unusual for us Brits. Except when I go to Glasgow. Interestingly enough, my wife was watching World War Z before just before I joined in, and there's all the bits in Philadelphia are actually Glasgow.
Oh no! Wow!
It was the same in Fast and the Hobbs and Shaw. All the bits in London were in Glasgow as well. They for some reason in World War Z they didn't include the Greggs that's on the corner of George Square.
Oh, boo!
Boo!
But it is in Hobbs and Shaw, so there you go. The first Hollywood film to feature a Greggs. Anyway, yeah, we'll come up Bates Street, I guess, to this junction here, and then head along towards Billingham House, or the Billingham's house, I guess. Presuming we've kind of got away from the crowd that were in the central square there.
So, Henderson, excellent driver, great guy, is not maybe a evasive or a driver who might deal with, say, pursuits. He is very much follow the rules of the road, proceed in a somewhat orderly fashion.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, let's get Henderson to shuffle over, and I'll jump into the front seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think maybe this is a British thing, but I was very much imagining Henderson as Parker from Thunderbirds. So I was kind of visualizing him as like chauffeur, but also well up for getting his hands dirty at any mild provocation.
Yeah, a man with a very shady past, isn't he, Parker?
Yeah, he is.
Henderson is, at least in my eyes, he is a like a chauffeur and a sort of a like an assistant first and foremost. He served in the war, so does have the ability to he served in the war as a driver, not as a soldier. But
What you're saying is he's not ex-SAS / Master Chief Henderson.
no, he is not, unfortunately.
Just let him
He was in my head, all right.
let him solve this whole thing. Yeah. So I'm happy to take the driving wheel.
Sweet.
I'll ask Henderson to shuffle over.
Sweet.
I tell you what. What I'm trying to try and do is get away from the crowd and then drive casual once we have.
Okay.
So, I take it drive auto is drive automobile.
Yes. Yep.
Let's take a roll of that. Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
I rolled 52 on a 55 test, so I will take
Nice.
it.
Excellent. So, with you at the wheel, you're able to sort of like move through some of the side streets, get away from the crowd, and your car isn't very well. It's very nice, but it isn't quite super distinct. Actually, no, it would be distinctive in Innsmouth.
Probably quite fancy, yeah.
Yeah, but you are able to keep to sort of the side streets and not really gun the engine to make too much noise. Since it's a fancier car, it probably has a smoother ride than some of the old 20s vehicles. Not that I'm an expert on that. But yes, so you manage to sort of like move around and hide in sort of a unused alleyway not far from the... You wanted to go to the firehouse?
I think the Billingham House would probably want to
Billingham
go to
House.
first.
Awesome. So, as you head into this neighborhood, it is nicer for Innsmouth. Like larger sort of houses, but they've definitely had some wear, not as much upkeep. Like they've tried to keep them, but there's a sense of like peeling paint and just it's always wet. And it's just they've tried to like deal with it, but just the wood always seems to be in some state of rot, despite trying to make it look nice.
The fishy odor, I'm guessing.
Yeah. As you move up to the Billingham House, you see across the street the Waite's house, the home of Thomas Waite, who owns the variety store.
Yeah, I was going to say he's the guy who owns the store, isn't he?
Yes. Out front on a swing, swing. Seated on a glider is a young girl, sort of in a like a patchy dress. She's got these big eyes, and her hair seems wet. You're not sure how it got wet, but it seems wet. And she's sort of seated on this glider, going back and forth.
What's a glider?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I thought it was a swing, but let me look out. Oh no,
Maybe like a swing seat, like one of those benches that swings back and forth. I've never heard of the term though.
Yeah. 1920s glider.
I can only think of her actually hang gliding.
Yeah, I googled gliding 1920s, and I'm just getting pictures of hang gliders. That can't be
Yeah.
what it means. Oh, hang on. Vintage metal gliders, old-fashioned metal chairs, and retro furniture.
Okay. So I think it's like
Ooh,
a,
porch gliders.
it's like a,
Yeah,
a larger swing, a larger,
like a swinging armchair for the porch. Hang on, I'll post a.
yeah.
Oh, I won't post a. If you go to retrovintagepatio.com, there is a picture. But I can't see any of the text channels on the Discord, and I don't know why. That's it, yep. Peter with the high tech.
When you say she was wearing a patchy dress, is that a dress with patches, or was she dressed like a Native American?
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Cultural appropriation. What did I do?
This is not real.
Her dress has been patched.
Not cheating.
A patchy dress, not a patchy dress.
Oh my god. What a twist! It was the natives. Oh god, what am I doing? But yes, so she's seated on this glider, like right in the middle. It's too large for her, and she's sort of staring at you across the street as you you park the car and then you sort of walk up.
Was she in the Waits garden or in the Billingham's garden?
The Waits on the front porch of the Waits house, which faces the Billingham house. They're across the street from each other.
There's every chance we've beaten Thomas back from the variety store because he was locking up as we entered, right?
Yes, you have definitely beat him back via car. The Billingham.
Last time, sorry, but we've heard somehow about Ramona is the name of this girl, and she spends a lot of time at home, and her mother took sick after she was born.
Yes.
Can't remember how we found that.
I believe.
How did we find that out?
I'm trying to remember now.
X, maybe? I can't remember.
I don't remember that at all.
I do remember giving you that information.
But now that I remember it now, I've heard it. Oh, no, yeah. We heard it at the Greg's, I think.
Yes, the Gregs.
They sell the best fishing lures, and their wife took sick after giving birth to the daughter Ramona.
Yes.
So we're well equipped on knowledge about fishing and children.
Good.
Yes. And then the Billingham house is a fine 2-story Georgian house that, still has that issue.
Reminds me, there's a Dylan Moran stand-up show where he talks about the countryside, and one of the things he says about it is it's always wet even when it's dry. And so when you said that these houses are always wet, that's what I thought of. Just
I sat next to Dylan Ryan in the cinema.
No.
He lives in Morningside, so I've seen him a few times around Edinburgh. But we went to see X-Men: Days of Future Past at the Dominion, and he was there with a young boy. I assume his son. He was just next to us over the other side of the aisle.
Oh wow!
Amazing.
He's normal after all.
He is, yeah. I saw him once on the meadows in Edinburgh when it was absolutely throwing it down with rain, and he looked so miserable.
Oh no! But yeah, the Billingham house. It's one side of the street. Waite's house. It almost seems you get the sense of like, oh, this is like the nicer side of the street, and this is sort of the less nice side of the street. The Waite side seems to be. You get a sense that that's like the merchants, and then the Billingham house is like the older, not older money, but like the older, more respected families of Innsmouth. So yeah, you're between both houses.
So, how hard do we want to go in on the? Do we want to go and see the Billinghams first?
Yeah.
Yes, we might not, because if Tom's not back yet. I sort of want to get my rifle,
Yeah.
but I feel if we're talking to the Billinghams, turning up with a rifle might not be the smartest move.
No.
Who was the Billingham father again? Or do we know anything about the parents, or am I misremembering that?
I do think we heard something about the parents, but I can't remember what.
Something about that father bought some stuff from Brian.
W.
Yes.
Billingham made several large purchases from National Grocery.
So he would likely be if it is a he, they would likely be well disposed towards Brian, broadly speaking. So maybe the Billingham family are kind of potential allies, unless it's a unless it's a deception. Do we want to talk to Ramona before her father comes back?
That's what I was wondering. Like, that seems like a good idea as long as we don't think she's dangerous. I don't think in character we'd have any reason to think she was. So,
Well, get the rifle and then we can talk to the little girl.
So, so yeah, Ramona is sort of like swinging on the glider. She's got quite a bit of strength in her like just swinging it back and forth for a young girl. And she's like staring straight at you.
I'm going to get out the car and walk up to the presumable picket fence that's surrounds Ramona's garden, and I'm going to sort of look non-aggressively and wave a little bit and say, so she's kind of a young girl, like 9 or 10 or something, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I have an exact age for her.
I assumed she was a little bit younger because otherwise the wife's been ill for like a decade and that. So I assume she was like maybe 4 or 5, but I don't know.
I guess I'm gonna say she's about 10 years old.
Fine. They say, hi, little girl. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Ramona.
Pleased to meet you, Ramona. My name's Patrice. I'm visiting this town. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
We don't often have visitors. It's nice to see new people on the street.
Yeah, this sure is a lovely town. There's nothing wrong with it. Could I ask you a question about the house opposite?
Oh, yes, Ruthie's house.
Are you friends with Ruthie?
Ruthie's very nice.
You know Ruthie's boyfriend?
You're not supposed to talk about that, miss.
Well, look, I'd like to be your friend, Ramona, and friends like to talk to each other, and we can keep secrets, right?
Ooh, yeah. Ramona does like secrets.
So, do you want to come a bit closer and tell me what you know about the boyfriend?
She's just rocking on the chair. She like leans a bit closer, almost to whisper in your ear.
Okay. I lean forward hesitantly.
Um, um, uh, Brian and Ruthie told me that I shouldn't tell anybody about Brian sneaking into her room. I'm always watching this street. But I heard they had a big argument with Ruthie's dad. He called Brian a bad name and said that she shouldn't be seeing him. But I
Did you hear
kept
anything
Ruthie's
else?
secret.
Did you hear anything else that they shouted then? I want to check if Ruthie and Brian are okay.
Oh, well, Ruthie's at home. Some days ago, there was quite they were quite angry. They brought her home at night. They were quite upset. They were yelling at her, and they put her in the house. And I saw her. She was in her room, and she points up to a window on the other side of the street. She was so sad. I haven't seen her out or Brian since.
That's really helpful, Ramona. It's been great talking to you. Can I ask you one little favor?
Yeah.
We may be going over to that house to have a little look around to check that Ruthie is okay. You won't tell anybody that we did that, right? I know you see everything, but that can be our little secret.
Well, you should watch out for the big the guy right behind you who's watching you.
Can I look behind me trepidatiously?
There is nothing behind you.
Oh no.
This appears to be oh
Well, I'm gonna say, okay, we'll sure keep a watchful eye out for bad men. Thank you, Ramona. And I'm gonna just sort of back away, almost like Homer Simpson into the hedge, until I'm back by the
love
car.
it.
And Ramona continues swinging. I hope you can get this creaking sound of my chair.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. I like that a lot.
And she's sort of like doing the same thing where she's looking like just past you, Patrice. As if she's looking
Okay.
at something
Did the
behind
other two,
you.
did Preston and Dexter hear all that? If they didn't, I'll summarize for them.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
imagine we did because we're in the same street. I would like to ask Ramona whether the man she can see. I'll say, hey, Ramona, that the man you can see, is he behind all of us or just Patrice?
The I don't know if he's a man. He's like
Oh no.
he's a big thing with the eyes. They twinkle like the stars. It's nice.
Oh, he sounds lovely.
He's behind.
Cameron, does Patrice get the feeling that playing her violin is likely to make this apparition more likely to go away or less likely to go away? Because I've had experience of it before.
It seems to show up when you play your violin, and when you're involved in how do I say, interesting situations, often that
Okay.
involve the occult and the strange. It seems to you get the sense you're being watched in those situations particularly.
Well, I'm going to briefly sort of talk in a hushed tone to Preston and Dexter. I say, I can't explain it, but there is some unseeable creature that watches me sometimes when I play. It goes away after a while, but just be careful. I'll try and do my best to keep it at bay.
Dexter's going to say, hang on, you always have an audience? How'd you get that gig?
It's not the kind of audience you want very often. Although I've had played worse.
Excellent.
So what I agree. I mean, I think that because we now know from Ramona, if she's telling the truth, that Ruth hasn't been seen for and she may have been kind of locked in her bedroom or something. So if we go to the front door of the Billinghams, they're likely, possibly, just to tell us to go away. So maybe we do need to climb up the drain pipe and break in the front window or something.
Yeah, I was thinking this, or have it It almost sounds like your man might be hiding in there anyway. She said like he was sneaking into a room, right?
Yeah.
Potentially he's slipped into a room and hidden there. I feel like it might be prudent for someone to watch like a back exit to the house.
Ramona can watch the back exit to the house.
Move swiftly away from Ramona.
What's Cameron? What's the kind of skill for keeping an eye out on things? Is it just spot hidden, or is it something different?
I mean, if you just want to like keep watch behind the house, there's no skill required.
So, well, I tell you what, who's going to be best at talking their way in is the question.
Oh, you want to talk your way in through the front door? I've got fast talk 35, psychology 35, that kind of thing.
I've got persuade 55.
I've got fast talk 35, but I haven't got anywhere near as high a persuade.
No, my persuade is 35 too.
Well, I tell you what, does one of let's try the. Should we try talking to people first, and then we can always climb up the drain pipe after that. But I think if someone keeps an eye on the back, well, one of you two keeps an eye on the back.
I'm not bad at sneaking, and I'm very good at listening. So I could sneak around the back and kind of hide up against the wall to try and listen to see what happens in the rest of the house when you guys, not talk to people at the front door in case somebody else in the house tries to do something, while you're talking to the person at the door.
Yeah, and if anyone sees you, you're just a friendly neighborhood orchestral violinist.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you always see in the street.
Yeah. Damn buskers.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, let's. Sorry, Pruda, just said that again.
I was just going to say, shall I sneak around the back and try and do that?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Do you want to come up with me, Dexter, to the front door?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
You are dressed like a magician, right?
Oh, yeah. Full regalia.
Cool. Well, I'll head up to the front door and knock on the door. I think I might have got I'll have taken a pistol from the boot of the car and hidden it in like a pocket or something like that.
Okay. Something like a derringer.
Yeah, I can't take a derringer, as you well know, because they're illegal.
Sure, but Henderson, as we know, has a past as a master thief and a sort of secret agent guy. So
he does not. He does not. He is a normal driver guy. Oh man. Anyway, Patrice, you head to the back, the back of the house, within sort of hearing distance and not being noticed. Preston and Dexter head up to the door. Knock. You hear a young voice, coming! And opening the door is, you would think, about 17 years old, dark-haired, like beautiful girl. She's got slightly, like, her eyes seem to be a bit larger, but it almost adds to her allure. They're like these beautiful pools you could just like sink into. Dexter, you almost get the sense in the back of your head of like almost like a mythical like siren, of just like a beautiful woman who just has this strange allure to her. Hello, can I help you?
I guess I'm gonna try and charm our way into the house, so we can chat to her. So I think I'll just say, do we want to lead with chat about Billy straight away, or do we risk scaring her off?
I think we probably want to sort of ask her, kind of, I don't think we want to dive in with that straight away. We want to work up to it, probably. Because, I think we do risk alerting her, as it were.
Can I just take off my hat and hold it in front of me and say, "Oh, we're friends with a mutual acquaintance, and we've come all the way from Arkham just to have a sit down with you. Is it okay if we come in?" And sort of almost start to come in as if I've presumed that she's going to let us in.
I'm not sure if my parents. Who are you?
My name's Preston Fairbank. I'm a well-to-do person in Arkham. Very respectable. There's no problem. We're just all we need is a chat. We just want to come in and have a talk to you.
She goes, Fairbank. Are you?
Have I got a card, a business card? I've probably got a business card or something.
Fairbank. Are you a friend of my father's? He's out right now.
Fairmont, I should have said. Sorry. I said
Fairmont.
Fairbank.
Sorry, Fairmont. Yeah, same thing.
Not of your father's, although it may be useful for us if we could have a talk to him as well. But really, it's you we're interested in seeing.
Silently appearing in the doorway behind Ruth, glaring, is a plain-looking middle-aged woman. Who she's got sort of the dark hair, but it is faded a bit to gray. You think she may have had the eyes once of her daughter, or maybe not, but what she has now are stern, focused eyes. She goes, Ruth! Go to your room now! Who are you? What are you doing at our house? Ruth is sort of shocked.
I'll just try and placate her. I'll be like, oh, we're as I was saying to your daughter, we're friends of a mutual acquaintance of your family, and we just want to just have a talk about a few things we've heard about. I've got my business card out, so I'll swing over and force the business card into her face.
Ruth is good. Mom, it's Mr. Fairmont. And she goes, I see. Well, go to your room, Ruth. Warren isn't around, but for a friend of the lodge, I'd be fine to take some questions if there's a need for it.
Interesting. I should have tried the handshake first up. Can I ask if we can come in and just take a seat?
Yes. Warren was called away to some business. He usually handles such matters. She keeps looking at Dexter.
He's quite eye-catching, isn't he?
I'll say, and I no, sorry. And I am Dexter. And I throw a card up and it vanishes. I'm confident that that's explained everything she needs to know about what I'm doing here.
Okay. She sort of...
I feel like maybe, I don't know if this is supported by the wider law, but I feel like Dexter's mechanism of putting people at ease is just to sort of output non sequiturs with enough gusto that they eventually give up trying to understand what's going on.
He's a magician!
Misdirection.
So yeah, Ruth sort of skulks upstairs, but is sort of leaning on the banister, trying to she tries to make sounds to make it seem like she goes into the room, she opens the door and closes the door, but she's listening on the banister, you can see, as her mother goes into the living room.
Can I ask if Patrice can hear anything of this or anything additional or see anything additional from behind the house?
You sort of hear all this happening, and you hear the sounds, but probably to your hearing you would think Ruth had gone to her room. Actually, no, your hearing is so good that you hear her creep back out onto the banister.
Wow. Awesome.
So yeah, you have a sense of what's going on auditorily. Yes. So yeah, Preston and Dexter, you are taken to a sort of a living room. There are pictures on the wall of a gentleman you would assume is Warren Billingham. He has thinning hair, large watery eyes, and a flattened nose. And there are several pictures of him. You see a picture of him with the chief constable and a gentleman in sort of almost like priestly robes, but they're not quite Christian, you might say. It's a black and white photograph, but they're a bit longer and flowing. And he seems to have some sort of like tiara on. That's not a Christian thing. But there are several photos of him with what you would assume would be influential Innsmouth people. There's one in front of the church. There's one in front of the oil refinery, and the fishing plant.
I feel like these folks, the parents especially, are going to be wrapped up in this. So we need to be careful about how we approach this. I sort of think the line about being insurance investigators might be a better way to go, and just ask her what she knows about the store.
Well, she seems to believe you're here on lodge business.
Okay. Oh, okay, right. Well, that's a way in, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I tell you what. I'll ask you if we can go. All I've said so far is that it's a mutual. Will she lead us into like a front room or something like that where we can have a sit down?
Yeah, she takes you to a parlor. You see the photos. She motions to a couch that has obviously been cleaned but has seen better days. And she asks if she can get you some tea.
Yeah, well, this is a great opportunity. It's always a good opportunity. Yeah, I'll have whatever takes the longest to make, please.
Yes, that one that takes long to make. Roll knowledge tea.
Knowledge tea.
No.
Yeah, I'll have a yes. I would. A cup of tea would be fantastic. We've had a long trip from Arkham, and it's getting late in the day, so a cup of tea would be much appreciated. Thank you, Madame.
Wonderful.
And then let's have a poke around while she's gone.
Yeah, Dexter will say, do you? I don't suppose. I don't mean to intrude, but do you have any coffee?
Fortunately, well, of course we have coffee, but it's sometimes harder to get around Innsmouth. Let me see if I can find some.
Thank you very much, madam. I do appreciate it.
Okay. So she's fiddling in the kitchen.
Okay. And Patrice is not fiddling because she put her violin away.
I see what you did there.
Okay, so I guess Preston and I are gonna poke around as many things as we possibly can while she's looking for various things in the kitchen.
So Ruth is just upstairs. She's sort of like listening at the banister.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Patrice is seriously considering climbing up the back of the house to try and kind of knock on the window to talk to Ruthie kind of through the window onto the landing. She's trying to judge whether or not it's climbable without ruining her clothes.
It would be slightly so you get the sense that someone has made this to be as climbable as possible. It's got
Excellent.
handholds and places to put your feet.
Nice.
Yeah, this is basically a ladder that leads up to Ruthie's room.
Well, in that case,
weird. No one would notice that.
Then I'm going to climb up and try and be as sneaky as I can.
Okay, roll me a. Is it just called stealth? I think it's
sneak. I think. Right?
Sneak. Yes, sneak. Roll me +10.
Okay. Well, where are we? Um, that's a fail. I rolled 53 on a 50 target.
Oof.
Oh no. So, um, so yeah, you're was that with the +10?
If this was sneak, my sneak is 40, and so my target was 50, I assume. So I rolled 53.
Okay. So yeah, there's you're climbing up. You're not quite used to it. There are some creaks and stuff. Um, the the Mrs. Billingham sort of like, and Preston and Dexter, you hear like a creak from outside. Um, and
So-
Judith is like, She sure like frowns a bit, and she.
I guess the question is,
Is she still in the kitchen when that happens?
Yes, she's still in the kitchen. She.
As soon as I hear the creak, I'm going to shout. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. I do take sugar.
Oh yes, of course. So yeah, you've pretty much covered up the creek, and you make it up to the room, and you. It's almost as if this window was made to be easily opened from the outside.
I shall do that.
In our role as insurance investigators, we're very disapproving of the terrible security of the windows in this house.
I need to prove it's easy to break into.
So, you arrive in a 17-year-old girl's bedroom. It's how do I describe this? Yeah, a nice sort of bed, nice closet, like surprisingly a nice number of clothes. It looks like it's been like fastidious, someone has been in here and has been very bored. They've been sort of like hanging up dresses, like organizing the closets. There are a couple of books that looks like they've been like paged through an inordinate number of times. Unfortunately, most of the selection is sort of like maritime stories, and there's a book on the history of Innsmouth. You notice that like hidden under the bed might be like a, oh my goodness, that's vaguely a romance book. But yeah, you get the sense of a girl who is sort of like, maybe not kept captive, but is very bored with things as they were, and wants to experience the wider world.
Well, as soon as I see that there's no kind of Brian Billingham here, Brian, whatever his name is here, and there's no pentagram daubed in blood on the floor.
Oh, sorry. Now that I remember that, no.
I turn around and it's a sacrificial lamb. Okay, I want to sneak up to the door and open it a crack to try and see if I can spot Ruthie over the landing. But I didn't mean to interrupt the flow of the other guys searching the living room.
Yeah, so you crack open the door and you see Ruth, and she hears the crack in the door and turns out and she puts a hand over her mouth and sort of waves at you.
I'm gonna go and gesture her into her own room.
Okay. Yeah, and she heads in. Dexter, Preston, what are you up to?
I think, yeah, just kind of poking around the living room, seeing if anything is kind of, seeing if there's anything that we don't think is supposed to be there. I guess, if that makes sense, like anything that looks like it wouldn't be in a normal kind of nice house on a quiet street in a kind of vaguely quiet American town.
Sweet.
Have they got a bookshelf as well?
Yes.
I'll while Dexter's poking around, I'll take a look at the bookshelf, see what titles they've got on the bookshelf.
Sweet. Each of you can roll me spot hidden. I don't think it's library use to look at someone's bookshelf.
Surely looking at someone's books is accounting.
Oh, yes. Oh, and yeah, roll it with a +10 because you're in no rush and you're just looking around. So
I have successfully spotted hidden.
Yes.
Oh, I can't. Hang on. I'm just gonna roll a d100.
Okay. Nice.
Oof! I think I've failed by 1, literally.
No, you succeeded. You definitely succeeded. That's a good roll, and you have plenty of time. So, first, Dexter. So you're looking around. This guy is definitely heavily involved in Innsmouth. He's definitely a businessman. What's this in this drawer of cutlery? Oh, that's a knife that has some very, very cool designs on it. It's got like a big eye on it and some fish scales. I wonder, is this made of like fish bone? And this is a very fancy silver blade. It's serrated. Almost as if it might be used in like some sort of ceremony or something. That's interesting. And there's also a book of prayers. It seems they seem to be written in a slightly older English. These could be magic. You should definitely take these.
Well, I'll sneak the book into the pocket of my suit.
Sorry. That was for Dexter. That was what Dexter noticed. Sorry.
Okay.
So I secrete the knife and the completely normal book of very innocent prayers beneath my voluminous cape.
Yes. As you do, you sort of maybe hear in the back of your head, you sort of hear the sound of like the ocean, like a wave crashing on the shore, and it's very calming, and it's very nice, and you should definitely take the time to look over those prayers with that knife. This is definitely something you should take the time to do. This is your occult obsession weakness coming into play. In case that wasn't clear.
Okay. I thought I was being possessed by some nefarious thing. No, okay, fair enough. Do I feel like I should do that now or later?
I mean, you could probably do it later, but you should definitely do it. And you should definitely keep this stuff. You probably shouldn't tell these other guys about it, and you should definitely keep it to yourself. It's definitely magic. Meanwhile,
Excellent.
Preston, you're looking at the bookshelf. It's mostly like sort of like history of the town. You think you see some like local authors, and some from the surrounding region. There's books on like fish and boating and that sort of stuff. And what's that? Yes. You've seen one of those before. That's a secret switch in a book.
Amazing.
If you pull that,
like a pull it and the bookcase is going to revolve kind of thing.
Yep. That's pretty much
Amazing.
what's gonna happen. So you notice one of those, and you're like, oh, I see.
But she's going to be back any minute. I don't know whether this is the best time to do this or not.
Meanwhile, as you're thinking about that, back in Ruthie's room, uh, who are you? What's going on?
Hey, my name is Patrice Hathaway, the violinist. I'm here in Innsmouth, and we're looking into the disappearance of Brian.
Brian!
We heard
Oh my goodness!
we
Oh
don't have much time. We're I'm sorry I snuck in through the window, but it was
no no.
just kind of easy. So, can you tell us what happened to you? What happened to Brian?
Um, oh my goodness! I'm glad someone's looking into it. Um, well, we were gonna run away together. I knew that that Mister Waite across the street had some valuable things in his safe that we'd be able to sell and make a new life for ourselves in Boston. He was such a wonderful young man, and sorry, I'm going on. But we were caught, and I think they're holding him in the jail.
Where is the jail? Is it in the middle of town?
It is do. Okay, how do I GM info overlay and layer token layer? You should be able to see the jail. It is right down the road.
Oh yeah.
So
Is the jail heavily guarded?
I don't. I mean, not usually. There are three official constables, but people in Innsmouth tend to look out for each other around these matters.
Does Andrew Martin live in the jail or at the jail?
I know where he lives. He lives very close by, on Hancock Street.
Okay.
Is anything happening tonight? We heard that there's a hollow mass. What is that? Is there going to be trouble?
Trouble? No, it's a local festival. Everyone puts on masks and stuff and goes on a procession to the harbor. I think it's sort of a religious thing. I've been on occasion, and then some of the older folks and the priest, they go down to one of the coves, to hold a ceremony, and we sometimes, occasionally in the past, we've crowned a king or queen of Hollow Mass, who is sort of a lucky person in the village who is given sort of a donation by the wealthy business people and sent off into the wilder world. I always wanted to be chosen, but I never. My father seemed very against it, and so I thought the only way to get out of town was with Brian.
Okay, yeah, that sounds kind of terrible.
What?
Do you want to
It's a
do
normal
you want
festival
to? No,
tradition.
no, no, it's super not normal. Do you if we can get you out of here, do you want us to get you out of here? If we can uh get Brian out of jail and take you back to the big city?
Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Can Okay. I think I'm gonna have to leave. My
Okay.
friends are downstairs, but I don't know how long. And I don't want your mother to catch me up here. There would be a you know, that wouldn't go down well, I guess.
No.
But
Okay.
how about you meet us? Can you get out of here? Can you get to the outskirts of town, maybe the railway station, but at near at nightfall? We can pick you up.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nicely done, Patrice.
Okay, I'm gonna just sort of quickly wave by and with my violin still strapped to my back, I will clamber back down the out of the window,
Okay.
Good.
and I will continue to hang out at the around the back to watch to see if anybody sort of else comes looking.
As you sort of climb down, you sort of climb, and then you look behind you, and who should be there, standing right there, is Ramona. She's just sort of like looking at you.
Hi, Ramona.
Hi, Patrice. How's Ruthie?
She's fine. We had a good conversation. Everything is fine.
That's good. There's a bunch of people who seem to be on their way to say hi to you, too.
Oh no.
Okay. Do they look kind of happy or sad? Cool. Okay, Ramona. Thanks for telling me. I'm gonna go and do something right now. Bye. And then
Bye.
I'm gonna assume that maybe we need to make another quick getaway. Can I sort of run quietly, tiptoe around the side of the house, and maybe kind of throw gravel or something at the side window of the parlor to try and draw the attention of Preston and Dexter?
Sweet. So you get to the side of the house, and there is down the street. There seems to be a like a truck that you might use for transporting fish, and another like beat up old car. And you see someone who looks like might be well, you see someone dressed up like a constable, and you also see a wealthy like a businessman type who you think might be Warren Billingham, sort of talking. And there are a number of other local citizens who seem a bit maybe hunched. They've got sort of bulging eyes, and they're sort of discussing and they're pointing at the Billingham house. Um,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and you notice Ruthie sort of walking up to them, and they're starting to talk to her, and they're like, "Ruthie, did is your father home?" And she's like, "Well, they're talking anyway."
Okay, I'm gonna keep a low profile, but I'm trying to get the attention of Preston and Dexter through the window.
Sweet.
But what I've been keeping half an eye out for Patrice anyway, so I see that, and I know we need to make haste. So what I'll do is I'll click my fingers and just attract Dexter's attention, and just whisper to him, "Can you keep what's the mum called again?"
Judith.
Mrs. Billingham. Just ask him if he can keep her busy, just very quickly, and then we're going to need to make a quick getaway. And when he goes through, I'm going to pull the switch.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can. I think I can do that.
Sweet.
Every time Dexter wants to distract somebody, I just imagine he sort of unrifles a deck of cards and just starts doing close-up magic in their face.
Yeah. I think I wander in and I just sort of I sort of pull a rose from my sleeve and give it to her and say, "Do you have like any water you could put this in?"
Oh well, yes. Okay. She's distracted. You pull it open. The bookcase sort of like creaks to the side, and you see a spiral staircase down underneath the house.
I thought it might just be a secret compartment.
So it slides open, and on the back of the bookcase, there's hanging a robe, a large green robe with a hood.
Well,
that it seems to have like fish scales
Nice.
sewn around the rim or the hemming, and that seems to be like real actual flaked gold around the hood.
So do I put on the robe, pull the door to behind me, and then head down the stairs? Seems like the obvious course of action here. Let's do it. I'll sling the robe on. If I can pull, will there be light down there as well, or is it pitch black?
As you were those torches always lit, or did they just light up as you pulled the door case? But the pulled open the bookshelf. But yes, there is light.
Cool. Right. Well, I'll pull the door to behind me and put the robe on, and then kind of pull the hood up so it's obscuring my features.
Sweet.
And slowly creep down the staircase, leaving Dexter to make up a good reason why I'm suddenly not in the room.
So Dexter, you're distracting. You
So when you said, like, can you distract her, did you tell me that you were about to just go? Or is that as much a surprise to me as it is to her?
I was expecting there would just... I thought there would be a secret compartment behind the bookcase I could just pick something out of and then we'd go. So this is as much of a surprise to me as it is to anyone else. So
Okay,
you're gonna have to think on your feet, mate.
Yeah, so
Card.
we kind of... We wander back into the living room with the tea and coffee, and Preston isn't there. And I just say, "Oh, as a magician, I regularly make things disappear." And then I just take the coffee and just have a good old swig, seeming entirely unconcerned.
She's just a bit stunned. So Patrice, Ramona is distracting this group of individuals. And they are keeping an eye on her. And you heard the sound of a bookshelf open and someone walking down the stairs underneath the house.
I've got incredible hearing. It's really useful.
Yeah. And you also hear Preston making excuses and talking about... No, Dexter making excuses about someone disappearing.
Dexter, like, full describing this trick he did, like, where he made his assistant disappear in front of a room full of people, and like discussing like the reviews in the papers and stuff. He's properly got off on a tangent. And
she's trying to be polite. Sorry, what was that?
Can I grab Dexter's attention through the window without Mrs. Billingham noticing?
Yeah, I think so. I imagine I'm like keeping a weather eye on you, and well, I would be on Preston, but he's gone somewhere.
I'm making gestures like kind of. I don't really know how to express the fact that lots of dangerous, likely people walking down the street into the house in which you're suddenly alone in, but that's the effect I'm going for.
Roll pantomime.
Okay.
No. You get that message across.
I think I get the impression that I should make my apologies, so I finish the coffee and say, I'm sure Preston will turn up. Give it a couple of days, and if he hasn't, then get in touch. And then I leave.
What is going... What? And she looks at you. As you're leaving, she goes to the drawer you ransacked, opens it.
Ooh.
Thieves!
I leave quicker.
Are you going out the front or the back door?
Which side of the house is Patrice?
So
on the side of the house.
The side of the house. So Patrice
sorry.
is on this side, front leading to the street, back.
I guess I go out the back because, like, unless Patrice is out the front, then I think I would go out the back.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, the back.
Sweet.
I follow Dexter to try and regroup him.
Sweet. You meet up to the back. Ruth is trying to distract them.
You don't know Ruthie.
Ramona, sorry. Okay, so things going on. Everybody's checking the deal.
Yeah.
Judith is screaming about a thief, opens up the front door, sees everybody, yells at them, Warren! Someone stole from us! And he's like, geez. So they're rushing towards you. And Ruby has taken this kerfuffle to also attempt her escape. So she has climbed down the pipe and is like trying to run out of Innsmouth.
I was next to say, I think we should leave. Where's
Don't know. Where are you?
It's just the two of us now, eh?
Yeah, he told me to take action, so I assume he did it on purpose, so I'm not worried yet.
Preston!
Well, I always trust a rich man. Let's go.
So we go over to where the car is, so that we can get away.
Car is probably right in the middle of the angry mob, right?
That is a problem, isn't it?
Preston hit it in a side alley.
Oh, okay.
Very wise.
So you make
In
it.
that case,
Henderson's sort of been looking around. Do you want to take Ruthie with you, or do you want to have her just try and sneak out on her own?
I'm worried that if we have Ruthie with us, she might get in more trouble than she would have made her own way. Maybe I'm wrong about that. What do you think?
I think so too. I think she'll like it.
Okay, we can let her go. She can slip just better. She's able to go past.
Yeah.
Quickly explain next to that Ryan is likely being held in the jail, and that I've agreed to help her escape if we bust Brian.
Awesome. Okay. Preston, you're heading downstairs. You're in sort of a dank cavern. You get that at some point or another, this area almost fills with water. And are moving through these sort of they're like caves underneath the city. You get the sense that maybe at one point this was an attempt to do a sewage tunnel or something, but it's definitely been repurposed for other uses. As you keep, you find yourself heading eastwards to your best senses, and eventually find yourselves in a. If you had mad skills, you would be right here. Which I guess you don't know what building is right there, but you might be able to guess. And there are a number of other people in robes, and they seem to be discussing. As you approach, they're going, I think we should move up the festival. What? No, we need to have it at the right time, otherwise the father will not be pleased. And they go, I feel there's been some interlopers. Someone has taken the book we have long desired. Someone who can make it through the seal? That's worrisome. Well, at least, hopefully we can capture them and retrieve for themselves. It could be those other sorts we've been dealing with, those Obanians. That might be worrisome. Or it could be that sorcerer who has long coveted what we have. That is a possibility. And are you continuing to approach, or are you sort of like waiting by the cave?
They haven't seen me by the sounds of it.
No, they have not.
I think I'll let them talk. There's a chance they'll move on. I think, obviously, I'll pass a casual inspection to my robe on, but it talks to me. I don't know how well I can bluff my way out of anything. So if they just carry on talking, I'll carry on listening, sort of lurking by the caves.
Sweet. So yeah, bunch of different voices. They're all talking together. Some of them want to move up some sort of ceremony. Others want to wait to resolve the situation. They're sort of stalking, and they say, well, Warren and names. Constable Birch and Constable Ropes have been sent to look into the interlopers who they believe headed towards Warren's house. And they go, do you think this has to do with the Billingham girl and her dalliance with the sacrifice? Perhaps. We should keep an eye out. And then one of them is like, "This is all the more reason we have to move this up. We should take him from the jail now and head to the coast." And they go, "Don't worry so much. Like, we'll deal with these interlopers like we have before. We might even be able to get more of a sacrifice for the father." So they're sort of just arguing among themselves. You start to hear footsteps from behind you.
Okay, cool. Well, while they're arguing, I'll kind of keep my head bowed and try and move past them. I assume there's like a way up behind them.
So, so you moved through these caves. You sort of followed the voices to the central chamber, where they're discussing around a font. They're in similar robes. There are several tunnels that lead away from this chamber, and it seems to be a whole network of tunnels.
Oh, this isn't good. If I come down towards the coast, seems like the safer side of town is the north side. So that's a kind of a left turn.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a tunnel off the left, or vaguely leftish, then I'll try it.
Sweet. Make me a luck roll.
Oh dear. What's the sound of this? How much luck? Oh, that's not working for some reason.
Oh, you got great luck.
It's 75, so I do roll D100.
Nice.
75 is the luck.
So, reduce your luck by 10.
Okay. Oh, hang on, I can't adjust my luck.
Oh, weird.
No, hang on, I can't, that's weird. Oh, I can click on edit and do it.
Or just make note that it is 10 because you have used up some of your luck. And you, basically, this tunnel, seems to come up, you think, is a good chance. You manage to avoid any footsteps, and you come up to a sort of disguised entrance that leads out of what appears to be a ruined shack. And you are around the north part of town. You're sort of on you're on Pierce Street.
Sorry, I figured out I was doing wrong there. Right, I'm on which street? Sorry, Pierce Street.
Pierce Street.
Yeah, you're about.
Pierce Street.
You are there.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, so where do I head to next? I guess is the question. Do I head back to where we park our way to the jail, to the railway station? Let's assume.
I don't know about the railway station because I haven't had a chance to tell you that.
Oh yeah, we think about that because that's where you always end up in every Innsmouth scenario that you try and escape from.
That's true.
In that case, the choices are. And in fact, I don't know about the jail either because I can hear about that. People down in the chamber mentioning the only place I know is the people back where I hid the car. So I'll start heading back towards and stay as much as I can outside. I'll take off the robe and we were in like a shop. I'll take off the robe and kind of try to hide it in a trash can or in a just where it's not immediately obvious, but we could come back and collect it.
So where are Preston and Patrice going?
Dexter.
Oh my god.
I think that we want to be. I think we're concerned about Preston's whereabouts to do it. We get to try and see if we can stop him.
I don't know because we are at risk because the townsfolk appear not to like us very much. I'm wondering about wisdom of kind of looking for him, because I'm wondering whether us looking for something that other people will see us. And I'm wondering whether that is not a good idea.
So maybe we should have somewhere out of sight until it gets darker, so that we can sneak around a bit better around town.
Yeah, or we head to jail. Oh,
yep.
Yeah, we do, don't we? Maybe we should, because later we might be our impulse would be to go and try and rescue Brian, I think.
Yeah. The
best kind of drink.
Sweet.
Yeah.
These things.
So, Preston, you're sort of looking around, heading in there. A gentleman in a fine suit with red gloves and a suitcase and a hat sort of appears to be approaching you from out of an alleyway.
Is it going to be a Faustian bargain?
Mr. Fairmont, how are you this day?
I'm going to warily say to him, I'm fine. Who are you, and why are you putting me in this strange location?
A friend of your father's, I'd say. Friend of the Order. I know where your compatriots are. I can lead you to them. However, the Order has need of your services. We were hoping you could procure for us one of the robes used in the rites in town, as well as a book entitled The Book of Dagon that Lord has let us know may have gotten into your hands.
Is that the one we found in the safe? Was that Book of Dagon? Was that one that Dexter has swiped from the house?
Dexter swiped a book of prayers.
That's great. Well, I mean, I don't have much option here. This is my cross to bear. I'll, with a heavy heart, I'll direct the to where I stashed the robe when we're coming out of the shack, and I'll assure him that my compatriots in the lodge will receive the book in.
I'm sure they'll receive it in due course. However, it would be much more appreciated if you could hand it to us now.
Well, I don't think I picked. I think Dexter.
Oh, does Dexter has it? Okay. If Dexter has it, then they'll wait. I thought
it's not like Preston like cape. Like where would he even like? It's a big old hardback. Like he's wearing a well-tailored suit.
Okay.
I don't have a top hat in which to stash it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yes, he says yes. Bring it to this location, and thank you for your service. And he leads you, and all of a sudden you see a car driving by, and it's your car. And you reunite with all of you see Preston on the street, and Preston, you look back, see the man, but he's gone.
Did he say he'd lead me to my friends, and they just happened to drive past?
Maybe.
Honestly.
No, he led you in a direction. Right. And then the car drove by.
So he says.
He's gone.
Okay.
Anyway, so you Anderson, Master Fairmont. Sorry.
Okay, we'll pile in, and yeah, I think what I heard in the chamber. I apologise for my sudden disappearance, but I'll explain what happened and say my sudden my vanishing act. You'll understand when you hear what I saw. So I'll explain about the door, about the staircase, about the tunnel network, and also repeat what we heard in the. It sounds like Burnham, young Mr. Burnham, is going to be a sacrifice victim as part of this. And there's a significant number of people looking to accelerate the timeline, so we have long in which to act.
I will sort of summarize what we know from our end and say that our plan is to break out of jail as soon as possible.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, could we take a short comfort break?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. Get some more water.
Sweet. Let me make sure everything's working okay. Okay, we'll get shortly. I don't want this to be one video, but I'll figure it out. Covered. Awesome. There's a staircase. Who knows where? I really have to go down it.
Well, I'll get it.
Just there were 3 rows. Okay, you go there.
Okay, so you remember the shack is.
That's not true.
I would have connected to the jail.
Oh, yeah, so I was just saying, Preston would know that Ryan got the as well. You literally mentioned that for the demons. I know that. So.
Is anyone watching this on Twitch?
We check. How popular am I? Well, it seems to be working this time, as far as I can tell. You... Docs... Chat. Where's the chat? Sorry. I got so many tabs open. Okay.
I've also rearranged my office room during the Christmas period, which is nice.
Ooh. I've been trying to...
Be quick few.
Yeah, I was trying to think things
So I've
out.
got all the games. I've got all the games and all the books. Well, not all the books, some of the books. And all my painting. All in one place now as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. I like the giant yellow Lego head.
No, that's the cat's bum. He's sitting there. Oh, he's just trying to gnaw on my cables. Do you mind? Excuse me, that's rude.
Ours are we have 2 cases on 2 built-in wardrobes in the bedroom, and cats are huge fans of suitcases because they are like they'll decide walking on just sort of 4 years sort of swiveling away in the bedroom, trying to get anything right.
Excuse me, you saw that? He had like a pallet shelf in his wall in the bedroom, and he tried to jump on top of it, so he pulled it back himself.
No! I was trying to look at some cast this adventure, but I don't want them to be eaten by fish run.
That's not a fun.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know. I remember reading someone talking about how it would be really interesting to like add 4 scenarios on how to the Dreamland section of the Dreamland campaign. Which would be interesting, but it's short. Anyway, back to Underwood Jail. Things about Darker in Innsmouth. There's sort of a fog around town. The rain drizzling before has picked up. Despite it being only around like 5, or 5:30, it's quite dark. Colonel is lights. And you get the sense of, well, just especially the sense of being watched, the rest of you as well. And that's why houses you see people looking at a car. Good. So yes, people watching. And eventually, are you going to drive straight to the jail? Are you going to what's the plan?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just think it's combat houses, so I don't think we can storm it with guns blazing. We need a more cunning approach.
It also sounds like they might just make on. That's another way to
We got under 30
Did
you collect?
no. It's like me in the case. I don't think so.
So
Did you bring
where everybody dresses in a top hat and they got just pretend.
did you bring a massive cake with dynamite hidden?
Also forgot that.
So Dexter.
I was more thinking we could like a Bernard kind of going off shift or something, making their prison uniform.
So
It's not just prison, but it's like a sheriff's station, a jail, I am guessing.
Yeah.
They gone around the place, so it's kind of like it's more Western than the prison break.
yeah, it's not a very fancy jail. It's just the sheriff's office. Actually, do have a disguise tool, which is sort of being able to pull a costume out of their cloak, maybe with a little bit of magic. But it would probably only work for 1 person and not a group of 3.
I can't write some sort of pantomime hostile sheriff. I think I could try and disguise myself. Am I the best choice, or would it definitely be someone else?
I don't know. Sales start looking like size is 0.
That's what I'm thinking. If we get in, there's going to be a connection down to this cave inside the prison, or inside the jail. So if we could get in and get him out of his cell and find this secret passage, then we've got a way out. We could work our way through the caverns. And if we're in like narrow, windy tunnels, easy. I don't know what you guys think of that.
Yeah, I can we have prison like this at a distance, see if there are any windows or balconies or things that would allow ingress.
So the jail. So it's a 2-story building. It's got a. Let me just. Yeah. So there's only a door. There are barred windows on both sides and at the back where the cells would be. On the 2nd floor, there are 3 barred windows you assume associated with cells, and then a number of normal windows on each side. Sorry, 1 sec.
I mean, should we try break in through one of the back windows and even seal a key, or maybe somebody can pick?
Here's an idea. Is the jail at the police station?
It is a jail and sheriff's office.
Ooh,
Yes.
sorry.
So,
We can't hear you.
What's up?
Can't hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
no.
Huh.
I can.
I can't hear Peter.
That's correct.
You?
No, I cannot.
No.
Yay. Technical difficulties.
So I think like we could go for a multi-pronged approach potentially, where I discover myself as a kind of police officer, and the others kind of try and break in, and we kind of, if I cause some sort of diversion as a police officer, then maybe that will work.
Yeah, so if you hear me now, by the way, what I was going to say is the jail, basically the same as that sentence, John, Dexter. If the jail's next to a police station, you might fall on your skip, is always in the south side of it.
So, two things. One,
Yes.
President, you heard that the two constables are sort of out down on you. The chief constable is in jail and probably has some deputies with him. They do have a phone system, but you don't know the number for the local police. We can try and get that from them, but it is sort of a small jail, like it is jailing, we say jail once.
Well, actually, it's just a second, and then we'll see next to try and break that.
Yeah.
If we can't figure out that, you might get in the
That sounds great.
This is cool.
That's Guardian, I can't take that.
True.
Just be more versatile.
Oh, man, actually, press there's dynamite plus.
Pays. I think sweet cash. I think phoning a tip is a good idea.
Yeah. I'm wondering whether disguising myself and like reporting it in my guise like might work. I don't know, like
I think
I wonder who is this new police officer, you guys?
yeah, that seems like a worse idea. Just disguising yourself as someone who isn't.
Yeah.
Like disguise yourself as the person you're going to speak to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea. Clearing out the jail for all the cops. Sounds like a
The option if they drive the car, listen to drive very loudly past the front, the drive in and hope that they follow the car.
I don't want to ruin our radio.
Yeah. Dexter could disguise himself as just a civilian and rock the reception desk and get a tip.
I think I like some of that. That sounds good.
Sweet.
Unless we can find a phone number and I mean it's not possible, but it takes time.
Okay, so I'm going to roll this disguise as a civilian and go and report that I have seen us some distance away, and see whether that goes well. So firstly, let's roll to disguise. So I got 45.
So I'm going to give you a. You already succeeded. Nice. You give you a bonus.
Yes, 14. Awesome. I disguise myself as a well-to-do, like got a kind of vaguely fishy appearance. I really nailed the whole Innsmouth vibe.
Smells really good.
Yeah.
But I didn't even put any scent.
It's just, I think once you've been in Innsmouth for more than a couple of hours, you can take on the smell.
Yeah, I get it.
And I will go into the police station and I will say, I heard there was an outsiders in town and I saw some suspicious-looking folks over at the firehouse.
So Chief Constable Martin and a number of sort of like deputies, people who have been sort of deputized, sort of like rougher-looking men, sort of fisher folk. He sort of like looks you up and down, and you get the sense he's looking into the pocket in which you have that knife and prayer book. He goes, sorry, oh my gosh. Sorry, you look familiar, but what's your name, sir? I'm sure I feel so sorry for not recognizing such a illustrious member of our fine township.
My name's Marsh.
Gone straight to the top.
That could be a minor cousin.
Your first name?
I feel like if you're in Innsmouth, you probably see Marsh written on enough like post boxes around the town that you figure that's a safe bet. Tom Marsh.
All right. Yeah, roll me fast out. -5.
Oh god, it was worked. Oh no. No, 82.
He goes, sorry, sir, but he seems a bit confused, and then he looks at you, and he seems to like look down at something like a pocket watch, and you think you notice like a faint glow on it, and then he all right, can you just come in and fill out a report, and we'll go out and investigate that.
I'll be glad to.
Okay. What opens the door for you?
So, real talk right now. How screwed does Dexter think he is? Like, has he noticed that things were awry, or is he like, oh, we just want to fill this paper, this is fine?
Like a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like on one hand, the sheriff is sort of giving you the sense of like, you get the sense that he thinks he knows who you are, and it might be related to your dagger that you have on you.
Right.
But he also, like, you're not sure if it's normal police procedure for them to want you to write a report. Like, this is just like a tip about someone.
I will go in on the basis that if they have rumbled me, maybe I can parlay that into a big enough distraction that Preston of the Trees can still work some magic.
Okay. So as you enter the door behind so there's like a reception area, there's a desk, and then there's a door leading into that area, and then further back there are stairs upstairs. You see, as you enter behind the desk, you do see some cells. One of them has, yes, so you see 4 cells and a staircase up, and one of the cells on the bed seems to be sort of probably drunk. Just someone in random clothes. As you pass through, he's ready.
Who?
And they go,
That's something next week.
everybody goes, Tom Marsh. Never really got to think of his name. And he goes,
Who
he punches you in the stomach with a big smile on his face. Who you smooth and he reaches into your cloak, going for the books.
Okay, can I, in the prestidigitation skill,
That's
once you've hand the for a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, into my. I love how it's like myself up, but that is a move from next.
I didn't think of that.
No, I'm full. I'm in the ring with you.
Okay, so you might pull up. I assume you have just like lots of pockets and stuff.
I'm gonna roll with you and see how that goes. No, 91.
Oh, geez, you're not having a good time. So when you were putting on the disguise, you may have moved the pockets around to so you weren't quite used to them. So you go into one of your pockets to grab the dagger, and a small bunny comes out. And they look at it for a sec, and then they're like, and then they're ruffling in. People outside the jail. You can see them through the window that things are going poorly.
We can make a plan before we start planning. Okay, Patrice, now, hear me out. Why don't we disguise you as a wealthy member of the community here? Say Bill Marsh.
That sounds fine. I'm sure you could try to use the Marsh fake name until now, right?
You turn up, hello, I'm Tom Marsh.
Genius.
Well, I guess plan. So they're all busy with Dexter in like a side room, are they?
So, sorry, let me see if I can show you the picture of this jail. Okay, I think the easiest way to do it is to pull out my phone, screenshot it, and send it to you. Sorry, I didn't think the location of the jail would be so important. Why didn't I think that?
What's your combat like, person?
We can have my shot, then is Mass mechanized?
Yeah. I just saying that might don't seem pretty cool, but shot is okay.
I actually want to get bad. 45 and 50 shotgun. What I can do is keep it in some by use that.
I don't know if to move or to charm people again, possibly. I might just shotgun that's 30, so I'm for every guys.
You put some copies combining.
Well, I'm PC, yeah, like music.
So, they put some and stand together, building the jail. So, basically, so behind the main office area, where cells are, that's where Dexter is.
In the news office behind.
No, so the ground floor is the top one. Yeah. So there's the door that goes in, there's the bed and the office and the general stuff. And then behind that area where the cells and staircase are, that's where Dexter is.
Oh, you just behind the office?
Yes. Yeah, cool.
Well, let's just add in the day.
Yeah, so that then. Well, I'm going to I might in
I'll grab the I'll do it.
Okay.
It's gone to chew quite quickly.
Yeah. Awesome. So Dexter, you please rather than you. The constable has grabbed the book and looking for the. He's still looking for the rest of your code. You get a sense of like you have a pretty natural sense of where the book is. The book down. Almost as if it called to him. So you have all your signs on all the pockets on your.
Apparently.
So you guys actually been looking at this for quite some time. Puts it on the desk, look at your pockets, and Preston into the door. Is it okay, so Preston and Patrice, you burst through the door. One of the deputies sort of like fumbles with his like new holster and pistol, trying that out. The other one sort of like is quicker on the draw, and sort of in combat. Okay. So let me try to look at the users. So highest dexterity goes first. So can I do a shoot driver? Sorry. I'll just do a text box here. Okay. Initiative. Okay, Preston, what's your dex?
I think he's locked in the desk.
Oh no, your dexterity.
8. That's not low.
Yes, it is. 40 virtues.
What's that, baby?
Hurts.
Cool. Okay.
And Dexter. Yes. So Dexter, 15. Deputy 1, 11. Constable Martin, 10. Then we have Deputy 2 at 7. Okay. So Chris, you are first to do that.
So what can I see?
So you've entered into jail. There is sort of a desk in front of you. There's a partition with glass that is sort of like not in good shape. Well, not glass. I'm sorry. Just a partition, like waist high, and like a window. And through it, you can see the jail cells, and you can also see Dexter, who is being held by one deputy who's fumbling for a pistol. The other deputy has let go of Dexter, has a pistol out, and Constable Martin seems to be heading for the book.
So my pistol skill, I think it's 20, 25, let me get that. So it's not 120. So if I could just clarify, if I wanted to try and shoot the deputy that's drawing his pistol, it would basically be a fat roll against that time?
If you wanted to shoot specifically at the pistol, it would be probably like 10% harder.
Not at him, but using my handgun to shoot one of these.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It
It
would
seems
be...
like great odds. I might get like one action per turn of combat, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Sure, I will take up my violin and start playing some aggressive music.
Okay. Let emotion...
To magically embolden Preston and Dexter and to create dismay in the bad guys.
Sweet. Roll it up.
So my violin skill is 75. So... Yep.
Awesome. As you begin playing, you feel more and more the attention of something right behind you, staring at you. You feel the hairs raising on your neck as you begin playing this passionate, aggressive music. The deputies are sort of like shocked and put it back. And Preston and Dexter, you feel a surge of confidence, as if you might be 20% better at doing a thing. However, Patrice, you need to make me a sanity check.
So I'll do that again?
So you should have a current sanity score. You were trying to roll under it.
Okay, so 80 at the moment. I don't think it's changed. So, yeah, 20.
Nice. So, this is a super feeling for you, and you've sort of experienced it before. You find yourself losing 3 points as the system is being watched. It erodes at your sense of reality.
Just a roll, it would be worse sanity loss if I roll. I think.
Yes. So for this one, it was a D12 attack loss if you failed, and a D6 if you succeeded.
Keep going.
Sir, only one heavy is on you. He's falling for a gun. The other one has the handgun aiming at trees. And the constable is heading for the butcher on the table.
Do I have a gun? I don't think I do. I've got a good hand, but I've got one.
You can try and take a gun from the deputy who's following this.
Oh, yes, that'd be or just punch people. What would the check like?
Do you have things like grappling or something?
That's very cool, yeah.
Okay. So he's fumbling, so that's I'm gonna say it's an extra 10 for you, and then you have the bows from others, so that's an extra 20. So if you want to take his gun and point at it or dealer, that's 65.
Okay.
Well, actually, you're oh no, you know what? It's not a roll. You just roll 100.
I'll see that right.
Yes, I called. Unfortunately, you're he's fumbling with it. You try and sort of like run it off him. He manages to hold onto it, and you're currently struggling for the gun. They both return the gun. And yeah, so you're sort of struggle for the firearm. Deputy 1, the priest is opposite something. Playing violin, they're going to try and take a shot at her with their pistol. They're suffering a large disadvantage, but they fail. So they're freaking out with the music. They pull their gun, and they fire, but pretty well, just misses. Constable is going to have a look off the table, and he is going to open up one of the cells, which was unlocked, and turn over the bed. And so he is yes, that's what he's doing. So he turns over the bed to create a barrier and begins trying to open up a door.
So just to jump to my turn, he's in all cells?
Yes.
Right, sorry, were the deputies in all cells?
No, so they're just behind that partition.
Right, well, I'm going to try and take shots at him because he's trying to kill I'm going to try and pop him with the rifle.
Okay, he does have cover from the bed cover.
Yeah.
So you have a plus 20 first, so you're plus 10.
Sweet. I should actually roll my shots at machine.
You'd rather have in the
Yeah, we'll give him a shot. It's actually, we have something interesting.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm actually got the calculator I just so the shotgun is plus 10 you say?
Yes, so you're at flat plus 10 from yours.
I need to the information for the shotgun.
So as he's speaking out like that, Preston pulled the button music, aims the shotgun, makes 2 slugs.
Yes.
Yeah. So
actually with it,
perfect. So
does something like a
Yeah.
so yeah, the bullet sort of like slams into him, and he sort of falls like backwards, stunned, a large hole in his shoulder. You're pretty sure that would have taken out a normal human being, especially, but he seems to be still breathing. If hit obviously stunned by that shot.
Nice.
Fumbling deputy is going to try and wrestle with
Yay, okay. Exactly me.
yes. He seems to be freaking out with the music and basically like struggling, but he doesn't have to get the pistol off you.
Okay,
good. You're both still breathing for gun. How do
Okay.
Okay. Roll me d2 point. It's putting a bit of a strain especially with the watcher, so you were minus 10.
Yep.
Okay. So you managed to keep music going strong despite it straining you in this present watching gun.
Should I go check?
I was looking at the initial one. You know, we can do the one.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, three. That's going running accuracy a little bit more. Next.
Okay, I'm going to basically roll again to try and get started. I'm rolling against the 5th. I'm dead by somewhere with 55, is that right?
Should be against, you're only 55 plus 20. He's not great, so that's an active 5, and then, he failed to crit, so that's another 5. So
Okay. Okay. Hey, okay, so I shoot, special current him and grab him.
would you like to shoot him with that gun?
Yes, I would shoot him with the gun. So I am rolling.
So you don't need a roll. You're at like point blank range, and you've just disoriented him. Are you going to kill or wound?
In the war, so I can't imagine I'm precious about shooting to kill. I feel like I'm in the sort of situation that demands it. So I think probably shooting.
Okay. So you whirl around, grab the pistol. He's a jock. He's maybe sort of a 25-year-old fisherman. He's got a bit of a weird-looking face, a bit puffy in places. He looks in wide eye in shock as you press it against his temple. Pull the trigger. I need sanity checks from everyone but Dexter.
Sorry.
Success.
Nice.
Oh, I don't know how to do. Oh, it is. 0 successes.
Okay, so you've seen some shit. We've been pretty wild. But maybe you're maybe paying attention on your issues. But I'm actually this person in cold blood. You led a more cushy life. You got guns. You have not seen a man's brains blown out by a point blank shot from a bullet. So you take 5 sanity. As this brutal display that sort of like puts you back.
Yikes.
Sorry, Cameron. I had to go and talk to my son briefly. Did I lose any sanity or not?
No, you're not. You're totally fine. Soon. So that deputy is dead. The other deputy is going to be around in shock and surprise and go, Marshal! And try and shoot Dexter.
Oh,
Unfortunately, his friend's death and the music, despite the range, he pulls the gun and misses you as the shot breaks out. Constable Martin is wounded. He sets movement on the other side of the table. He puts down the book and uses one arm to open the trapdoor. And he opens it up, grabs the book, and is trying to sort of track it down. He can't close it behind him because his bad arm. Fortunate for him.
So he's taking the hole, basically.
Not quite. Well, not quite, but he's headed down.
So again, in the midst of combat, I'm escaping down out, getting Billy.
I love it.
The important thing to rescue him is what sacrifice then, which seems like the
You remember, Preston, that you were with retrieving that book, and you did see Martin was trying to escape.
But okay, never mind. Can I put the partition get a better shot and then just take the
You 100% can. So you follow the partition, and you sort of you head closer, and you aim down for so there's the cell door open. He's behind the bed. You manage to get and you on him as he's trying to head down. He's not hurt, but the only bonus is from Patrice.
Okay, let's give it a go. Come on. That's a hit. That's exactly
Amazing! All at once. So
that's a hit.
So he's sort of like on the ladder. You aim with the gun. He looks, bulging eyes, opens his mouth to say something, and you put it on the shotgun. The slug goes right through his large, bulging eyes into his brain. As he falls from the ladder quite some distance, as you hear him smack on sort of wet floor below. Roll me a sanity check for killing a guy.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Come on. Successes again.
Yeah, so this time you miss it, you did it. So, 7.
1, 2, 3. Speed out to 63.
Yeah, so you're this is gone pretty far. You're maybe the best mental shape for missing these murders. You're a millionaire. You can help people do this stuff. Not used to shooting people in the head.
I just think of something to having staff. It's one of those things.
Well, you should cherish keepsake coat. With a bear. Patrice. What was that? Yes. Who just saw his consul murdered, his other friend murdered, and did not sign this.
I'm gonna stop him. Get out of here.
He's going to get the hell out of here.
She doesn't need multiple by 2 men that she bought.
Okay. So, combat's basically over. The constables on the ladder cell, the area, and there's keys hanging on the desk.
She's kind of Brian speaking in his own.
No, but also here, shooting! Help me! From upstairs.
Let's come here. Let's go somewhere.
Oh.
Shall we run upstairs?
Is that on the hanging up? I think.
Sweet. So you head upstairs and you find in one of the cells is Brian Burnham. He is obviously freaking out over the fire. Who are you? Hey, friend.
So he tied up or anything?
No, he's not tied up. He's just in a.
Okay. Do the keys that we nabbed open the cell?
100%.
Okay. Fine. By this point, I'll in back in it.
Okay. And you feel the gaze of whatever's watching you slightly late, but it's still there. Yeah, so right there. Oh my God! Did you come to rescue me? I hope so.
We're here to save you.
Awesome. I have a lot of questions, but right now I'd really like to get out of here, especially if people are shooting guns.
That seems fair.
Awesome.
If you get us, then we'll take you to where Ruth is.
Oh, excellent! I was saying I would really like to. Her family's terrible. They're the worst. We need a.
Yeah, we stole it. So the book, or have they? With the man.
So you have the knife. He was before he could fit it out of your pocket. Your friend showed up and started. So
right, I need to go and get that.
Okay. Well, we as your friend.
Yeah.
So is there any objection to this question? Did anything come up already?
Like a lamp.
Okay. This is everything that she's seen, and she's going to hang back, kind of after people are just leaving the police station. I'm going to kerosene lamp into the middle of the papers or whatever that I see. At least it'll be a distraction for bring our getaway.
So yeah, after we've got the book, though.
Yeah, no, I'll do it until we're ready to actually go and die in a conflagration.
So, you do notice, looking at the sheriff department, the shots have alerted the attention of people. And maybe something else. Coming across
Not something else.
one of the suites covered in a cloak or something. Something that looks deciding. It's hard to tell the distance. It doesn't look human. And it's sort of like probably towards the sheriff's, the jailhouse.
Down the ladder.
Yes, it does rather.
Okay, so I'll be the last, and I'll shut the kerosene lamp before I go to try and make cover our exit.
Sweet. So yeah, you get on the ladder. Priest sort of throws the kerosene lamp. I don't know if you have to like shoot it to ignite it. Anyway, it's a pulp cool adventure.
I will arrange the light.
Sweet. So just as bursting through the front door is this silly creature. It almost has almost like a fish. Looks like one that might come from the sort of maybe some sort of deep one, perhaps.
Ah.
Yeah. And Patrice, I need you to make a sanity check as it is coming in, and you see its face illuminated by the flames as it recoils from it before you close the top of the trapdoor.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fair.
Nope, that's not human. That's a scary thing. That doesn't... you know witches and stuff, but that's else. So that is 6 as things are running up, getting quite scary as you close the trapdoor and lock it underneath you. So you find the tunnels sort of damp. There are from here. Yeah, there's like a little. So yeah, it doesn't be the same tunnels. However, we have a gunfight.
Oh no, this sounds familiar.
So there's a small amount of water running in, and you keep rushing in from the east. So the east, I think, is quite close to us. And then there is down. There's west.
Was the Constable Martin?
Yes. The water is a bit. So I felt here the boat is like get wet. Very important.
I'll pull the body. And the best way to go. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, just to the west. This looks like. Yeah, is this the railway station?
Yep, that's the railway station.
So let's see. Ideally, it probably came out before. I think it quite out.
Yeah.
This is the Lexus.
Let's head west, and then try and get into the.
So, heading that way, you hear whatever that's heading in your direction.
From ahead.
Yes. You think maybe behind one side tunnels.
Yes, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
I need you to roll.
Missing is 40, I think.
Mine is 50.
10.
Well, I feel like
Yeah, exactly.
I roll sneak attack like I've got best. Hey, I succeed.
So, you quickly press those tunnels. You hide in those tunnels. You get a sense that one of the people at the front, perhaps Preston, Priest Rose with Tiara, places in your direction as he senses presence of a book or something. But this is continuous where they were told there were gunshots. So you get to that tunnels, you get back to the chamber, and there is a Brian, but he's already out. So the chamber, you are underneath the esoteric order of Aeon. And there's a sort of simple thing. Dexter, you feel sort of like almost calling to you. You feel the rush of and you think that you recite one of the prayers, you might be able to gain some sweet magic powers. There's someone who wants to almost talk to you, and it would definitely sweet magic powers. So you'd be a real magician.
Yeah, I immediately crack out the psalmbook and start saying those sweet passages.
Time.
It is the place, unfortunately.
What is going on, Priest?
I just request for more knowledge. Do I need to make a roll to add to those?
Yes.
What should the roll be?
Do you
I've
have
got 2 Cthulhu mythos. I have 55. I don't have that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I succeed. I roll a 30.
Awesome. So everyone is looking up. You sort of begin muttering prayers in this place, and you can feel the voice of something ancient stirring the sea, and you can see a vision of Innsmouth and underneath Innsmouth, and you see the water rushing into the caves, and you follow the source of the water, and it's this huge creature. It's a fish, the frog. It's scaled, and out of its mouth, it's breathing water that is beginning to the caves. And for a second, your mind touches its mind, and you get all these images of like eons ago, like sleeping, awaken. You see these images like talking with people and fish, and you see images of these things copulating with humans. All these images are sort of like rushing into your head. I need you to make me a save.
The worst porn
That's,
ever.
I see.
Okay, so this is a lot of course. But so you're phase. You're like ultimate power time. As you think, so your mind does this thing. You get this arcane insight, and you find everyone else you see Dexter scrolling furiously in the prayer book. You did another trance.
Oh.
And Dexter, you sort of step out and realize you've written these weird like incantations. Basically, like you connected the letters of the prayer book in the way to form like symbols. Like you take like a pen that you had on you and connected words together to create these arcane symbols.
Yeah.
Everyone else has sort of noticed this, and he steps at it, and he knows the water is rushing. And you also hear this bells, except for the one north where Austin made his escape earlier.
Sorry, there wasn't noise going on.
No. You escape to the shack, or there's no noise going on.
Yeah, I've got like my shot out a little bit, and let's make full time try and.
So you run through the redly flaming chambers, and you hear noises and something. Do you fire back in that direction?
I'll take out my pistol and fire 2 or 3 shots back behind me.
Sweet. So you're firing shots. Pew, pew, pew. Brian is freaking out. And eventually you find the staircase leads back. You stumble. You notice behind you there is people with torches head towards the coast. So you're on the other side. They're heading in the other direction. But there's night.
We see the station is on fire.
Yes, the distance is on fire. And you get the sense that there are a lot of people crowding around the coast. We'll see later, depending on how things go. Not too far is the place you agreed for Henderson to meet up.
Okay. Should we go there with the car?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sweet. You hop in the car.
I'll take the wheel.
And surging out of the shack as you're sleeping is a sort of like it's not like an eel, but it's like the same like a crocodile. And like you're always surprised. You may not have seen crocodiles. They move really fast on their tiny little legs. And is so yeah, the head of an eel, and body crocodile. Weird tail. Its back. It scales like the shell of a crustacean. And there are other fishy things with it, but it is the thing that seems to you. And I need a sand check.
Oh God. Third time's gone. Yes, I passed.
I did not pass.
I passed as well.
It was funny.
It's hard to notice in the rain. So, make a holding firm against it. But that's not a bad gross thing. I won't say so. You feel like you saw this in your vision before, and you almost have vision being birthed. And that's not a good image to have in your brain, as you can make out these terrifying parts. You can find damage as this. You're recoiling from the shock. You're making away right in the bottom. So it is. Oh God, what's going on? Where's Ruth? We need to pick her up.
I'm just gonna, because I've still got my shotgun. I'm just gonna like fire off. I assume it's like a double-barreled shotgun, like a kind of hunting shotgun. I was gonna fire off both shots and then just throw the shotgun at it. Are we right by the car here, or are we gonna run to the car?
You are in the car, driving away. When
right, okay.
This bursts out of the shacks and everywhere.
We're gonna be Ruth at the station.
Awesome. So you could get down, or you could spend time going right to the train station.
We'll go to the station.
We are.
I think so.
Okay. I guess
Jeez,
Henderson's still driving, unless Preston, you want to take the wheel.
No, I said I was driving.
Okay, sweet. What are we driving? Is your car used to it? There's a giant creature chasing after corpse.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. So you're driving, and but it is leaning on you. You're not used to these streets. You're getting closer to the train station, but it seems that some levels are either driving their houses, but it seems like there are occasional cars that used to like block some of the exits out of town, and they've put barriers sort of close the town off. So you're elevating, moving through them. So this creature is like.
I'll tell Dexter that there's a roll in it, or I'll get him to so he can take some shots.
So, you got a rifle in hands, you got new you got your violin, you got Brian, forget if you want to try down.
That's right. Oh, well, I'm gonna lean out the window and violin out the door like this to try and make the beast.
That's awesome. So it has an inhuman mind, so it's at a -10.
Okay.
Does not appreciation for fine class of
Hey.
So, creature with the beautiful music sort of confused all. You feel the entity watching you came back to that. You get this image of this. It's an orb, is like this of stars, but or stars or eyes are stars. You don't see it watching you, but that sight is a bit behind you. Is a disconcerting feeling, to say the least. Roll the ascendant check. That is a fail. Oh no. So, the main thing is Patrice is playing a beautiful song, but she's playing it like a like done. I'll wait for them to connect. So you only take one sanity damage. Everyone else is noticing that Patrice is playing this beautiful music, but playing it like a like the is the most important. Which Patrice, she almost lost in the music. It is become slowed as it is entranced by your music. It's sort of glazed over as it's slowing its approach. But you are consumed playing. You can't stop. Dexter, what are you doing? You are given a rifle by Hatch.
Shoot things.
Sweet. Are you trying to shoot at the big or the smaller things?
I'm not really trying to kill them. I'm more trying to keep them off us for as long as to get out of here.
Okay.
So like the small things. Why?
No worries. No worries.
They're all. Okay, so I'm rolling. I'm rolling 50. So I'm rolling in front of 50. Hey.
Also, the roll in your hand, you flash your infantry practice when that's what we're trying to remember. Picking off the bloodshed, the smoke, the door in your mind. In your mind, you're trench. But the other is rising out of the sea. They're running out of the sea and some look you're in your vision, you're in your mind. As you stand, you're picking off these little pictures. Preston, you're trying to see station, and coming out of also you see so with this station, behind her, you see Ramona, who is sort of like she's got a hand up and she's holding the hand of her father, Thomas Waite. Who seems sort of out of it and concerned, but she's struggling with it. And behind them are some brisk-looking thugs, one with a shotgun, the other one with a large club, who are chasing after.
So are they racing? Are they like?
Yeah, yeah. Ramona is tugging on her father, who is like very slowly, like very trying to move. Who's like running the car.
Well, skid to a halt in front of or kind of. Well, between them, I guess. So
sweet. Roll me a die.
Do we have to? Do we?
You could just let them.
No, I think we could get 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you skid, you throw Morris, and Ramona doesn't turn she sends her forward. No. She goes, I need to hear a Betty. And then she turns around and thugs chasing her and other things. And you hear like crying of her bones and her skin, as she seems to be like her skin is like scales in its place. And she seems to be growing and moving. Are you watching or are you getting? Okay, so you the thing that was sets itself on the thugs. One of them shoots out directly at her. She seems to get off. As she hears you head down the road, getting out of town. The eel is sluggish and moved out. And as you turn the corner to enter the town, it tries to turn, but it slams into one of the buildings. The other creatures that are chasing after you are being shot at by Dexter and a base. As you have escaped Innsmouth. Dexter, in your mind, you see all the villagers, but a number of the villagers, and the burning police station. Being pulled from the burning police station is the form of the constable, and he seems to be healing over his wounds and his father. And what happened? The monstrous creature dragging him brings him in front of these priests as they go. What happened is you failed. You failed, Father Dagon. You will be the sacrifice. As he is taken to be sacrificed.
Oh,
The ending.
Sorry. The sheriff, and also Warren Billingham and his wife. you see Warren and Judith have already been tied to these altars. As you see this vision of them about to be sacrificed, and you think you can see just below the water the form of some sort of creature. Yes, you did that.
Yay!
Thomas
I think
will.
that's a good result. Nobody died. We rescued quite a few people.
Thomas will eventually know that his father was some sort of sorcerer who made a deal with Innsmouth and created things to protect him and his family. It's happened with his wife and his daughter, and he sort of broke a little. Was always trying to protect what his father had left. Brian and Ruth, they speak to you. They lost it.
That's a long way. Can we bring wise to bring them back to his parents and from there?
Brian would have to be dropped on O'Banion's. I don't know. But I still don't think that's recover. And yes, you successfully escaped. Patrice and having enjoyed the performance. And you have a book, the Order wants, and Dexter has some new equipment. So
I guess, although I will have encouraging me to get involved just to make sure they're not going to use it for some purpose.
Various purposes?
I know. What are the odds?
What are the odds? But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed.
Yeah, that was really good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for playing. Sorry, I actually recorded. So I'm posting that. I'll be hoping to do something in the future. I've really enjoyed doing this and getting into the Arkham stuff. So might see a campaign or another one shot. If you have any things you'd like or prefer, feel free to shoot me a message or let me know. Thanks for playing, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
See
See you later.
Oh. Get off my hook. Restore. Go for it. Coming. Coming.